Do you love YouTube? Well, we all do. But I have a question. Is that love for YouTube starting to die? Hey, you know, the problem that I'm seeing with all of these changes is they're trying to kill the avant garde. They're trying to make us do something different constantly. And the love that we have for the art that we love and the ability to share that art is changing. Once again, I've written extensively about this and I've gone into great detail about this. And as long as we keep following the rules and playing by the rules, they're going to allow us to succeed. But we all know that it's those of us in the avant garde, those of us who are kicking against the pricks, that are pushing things forward. You see, I am by far not a traditionalist. I'm not somebody who follows the rules of the game just to say, I love the game. Well, you know what? Rule breakers helped do great things. If you think about the punk rockers, if you think about the Dadaists, if you think about the people who were pushing beyond the limits, the Hunter S. Thompsons of the world, the how about somebody like, I don't know, David Foster Wallace, let's say. There's a whole list of people. U2, the musicians, U2, Bono. You talk about these people, the Pogues. I could go on and on and on. You see, those of us in the avant-garde tradition of things, we say, okay, we see the rules. Now let's break them. But algorithms prefer rule followers. Nobody has a bunch of love for rules. Look, America specifically was built on freedom. Every single day, those freedoms try to be sacrificed. They ask us to sacrifice that freedom for safety, for security, for this, that, or the other. And you begin to lose love for what was once sacred. That's why people are so opposed to things like flock cameras. Now, of course, the modernists love flock cameras because it's creating capital for them, it's creating monitoring for them, it's creating data for them. But you and I, we're losing love for stuff like that. The reason we're losing love for these rules and for these algorithms and for all this other stuff is because it suppresses us. It keeps us held down. Nobody wants to be beholden to a computer, to a data center, to an algorithm. Nobody wants, no matter how you clean it up, YouTube can say the algorithm is really the audience, right? That's how they tell you to disguise it. I don't think so. Not by a long shot. It's a gatekeeper. And instead of having responsible gatekeepers, they want to be the only gatekeeper. That's not what I call freedom. I call that dictatorships. And the problem with this is Google, who owns YouTube, Alphabet, is kind of the dictator of the internet. So, what happens with dictators? Rules come up, lights go out, lights come on, lights go out, lights come on. And eventually people begin losing love. And they begin losing faith and trust in those systems and those people. And I think that's kind of where we're at today if you're in the avant garde. You see, the avant-garde, we used to not really play well with the modernist, with the people, the traditionalists of the world, but we kind of respected their game. Well, what happens when we start to disrespect the game? I've often argued that if a great painter, like let's say Van Gogh, was to create Starry Night today, would he ever be noticed? Probably not, unless he was a good SEO guy or he was a good algorithmic mastermind. How do we get a guy like Van Gogh who has a love for his art and a love for his craft to be discovered? You have to get rid of the algorithms. Wasn't it Rick Rubin who said the audience comes last? Do what you do, love what you love, create what you create, and the audience comes last. Well, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't believe that. Now, do they? They keep telling you the audience comes first because they don't know you. They don't know what makes you tick. Their algorithms aren't that smart yet. They can't figure it out. And YouTube doesn't want to hear from people like you or me who have love to share for what we do and their platforms. It was the avant-garde that protected things when the traditionalists couldn't protect them. It was the avant-garde who advanced forward the ideas of freedom, independence, or the message. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you love systems or do you love art, creativity, being able to share that with the world? That's the ultimate question. The real question, though, is will you be allowed to share that with people? That's the real question. It's a horrible thing, but it's a real thing. So share your love, share your light, and don't let the algorithm put it out. Because without light, everything just looks a little uglier until it comes back on again. And the dictators say, well, your neighborhood needs a little more power. Do you follow me? Dictatorships are never good. Authoritarian control is never good. But it seems like that's what YouTube is doing to us all. I don't like it. And it's time that those of us in the avant-garde of YouTube stand up and kick against the pricks. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.